Afternoon, all. How we doing? Afternoon, Ladder. Afternoon, Brian. I haven't been doing any trading this morning. I've been working hard on the website. I discovered a spell checking plugin for Chrome, and unfortunately, I started spell checking my website. So I'm now going through every page of my website, spell checking it, and realizing how horrendously bad some of the spelling mistakes are on my website. I've missed letters out here and there. My punctuation is terrible. So I've spent all morning going through every page of the website. It's now grammatically perfect, apart from about 6 or 7 pages, which I haven't finished yet. Anyway, oh, God. So that was my morning gone. Lovely ORB on the DAX this morning. So that's the ORB that I took this morning. That's where I got out. So yeah, lovely. Pop. Very nice, easy opening range break today. So that got back a load of that loss that I had. So that Aussie New Zealand loss and the mistake DAX loss, which shouldn't have even been a trade. That was just an idiot. Forgot to delete a pending order. So that's why I got that loss. So yeah, $400 odd off of that this morning. So that's quite nice, 0.5%. Profit I've got at the moment. So CAD Swiss, I had a nice profit of about $250, but I've held it. I was toying with the idea of taking it off at the low of the day, which in hindsight would have been exactly the right thing to do. But I thought, no, it won't double bottom. I'll go for yesterday's low. And obviously it went straight off double bottom. So I should have taken it. But I thought, no, I will hold out. So I'm going for yesterday's low. And I'm staying for yesterday's low. So market structure at the moment, we've got some weird bent symmetrical triangle going on at the moment, which is obviously bearish. Look. So if this channel is going to actually line up, what we're going to do is come off that propulsion gap and then come down. So we'll see. Other than that, I've had pound US dollar flip-flopping in and out of profit all day, just not going anywhere at the minute. So I've left that alone. New Zealand dollar yen's coming down nicely. So I'm still in New Zealand dollar yen. If this is going to hold this area that I took the trade from, we'll come down here somewhere, either there or there. I'm targeting a little bit more conservative than that. So I'm just looking, basically, if we're going to start some kind of contraction, I'm going to try and get off somewhere down there. But I'm going to hold it for the minute. I'm kind of tempted to take it because it was just a quick scalp, and it was sort of, it was a double top type, a triple top type thing. So I'm just conscious I'm heading for an 8K target. So holding on to trades when you can bank, like banking 2 or 3 of these a day is 0.5% a day. If I bank that and I bank that now, that's my target for the day at least done, isn't it? And then I can just worry about the rest. But I don't know. All these yens today are all fairly strong. So the fact that this is the yen in control and not weakness on the other party's behalf, I'm just going to hold on to it and see. So this afternoon, 3 o'clock, we have the CAD. It's 4:25. So we've got 5 minutes, just under 5 minutes until the New York Open. So I should be trading the DAX opening range. And we've got Canadian dollar interest rates at 3 o'clock. And then we've got the press conference at 4. So this is a big one this afternoon for the CAD. I don't anticipate anything more than a 4.5 based on the way inflation and everything is going. But you never know. You can always get a shock, can't you? The Canadians are always quite quiet. They're a bit like the Swiss. They don't shout much about what they're doing, which makes it quite difficult to predict. But I reckon we're going to get a 4.5, and then we'll be interested to hear whether they're going for a quarter or a half on the next one, which will come out in the press conference. That is the first question that will be asked in the press conference. Thanks for letting us know where you're going next. That's all they're interested in. Afternoon, Cam, Jarmond. Afternoon, Ricky. Luke Sagar, Random Vlogs. Sir, tell us about GBP one more time, please. Well, it's the currency we use in the UK. We spend it on stuff. It stands for the Great British Pound. It's got a picture of the Queen on at the moment, but soon it will have a picture of the King. Anything else you'd like to know about the GBP? Afternoon, Frank. Sorry, I'm being sarcastic because your question didn't make any sense. 3 minutes to the open. News this morning, not really any news this morning at all. So, yeah, there you go. Oh, some news about some tanks. Germany is to send Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine, allowing allies to export them. So that is going ahead. Okay. That's interesting. Not from a financial perspective, but just from Germany helping Ukraine out, which is good. The German decisions to approve the delivery of Leopard tanks to Ukraine is extremely dangerous, takes the conflict to a new level. Oh, here we go. Finger getting close to the button, Putin. There's nothing bearish there. No, nothing exciting on news, so we can not worry too much about the news this morning. 1 minute to the open. So looking at where we are today, ADRs, we've looked at all the ADRs this morning. The Aussie New Zealand was the one that I'm in. Got into profit on that, and it's pulling back at the moment. So we'll see where this one goes. Obviously, I was expecting it to come off of the propulsion gap. I wasn't expecting it just to literally tap into it and pop. So this is quite strong from the Aussie. I was looking for a deeper pullback into ADR. But Aussie dollar Swiss is coming down. Aussie dollar CAD is coming down. Aussie dollar yen is coming down. Aussie dollar US dollar is coming down. So my problem is, I've got on the wrong one. I'm on Aussie New Zealand, and what's happening? The New Zealand dollar is incredibly weak. So it's just my luck, isn't it? The one that I get on is the one that collapses. Luckily, I've got it hedged with the yen. So this movement here is not Australian dollar strength. This is New Zealand dollar weakness. So when that New Zealand dollar starts thinking, actually, no, I shouldn't be this week, we'll hopefully get that pushback down on Aussie New Zealand. So I'm not too worried about it. It is a 200 ADR hit, so it's tired, very tired. It just so happens that the New Zealand's decided to go a bit silly. So we're just opening up now on the NAS. Random, you're asking about pound US dollar. What about it? I'm short pound US dollar. I can't really answer that question. If you shout out things like, what about the pound US dollar? Well, are you looking? Are you trading 1 minute charts? Are you trading 5 minute charts? Are you looking for an intraday position? Are you trading swing for the next week? Are you looking for a month long? Where do I think it's going to go this year? There's 1,000 answers to pound US dollar, isn't there? I really don't know. Right now, this second, it's not extended on any time frame on the hourly or on the hourly or the 4 hourly. It's sitting sideways. It's broken market structure to the downside, so I'd expect a pullback drop on it, which is why I'm short. From a fundamental perspective, intraday, the pound US dollar is COT positioning is short. Intraday sentiment on pound US dollar is ever so slightly long because the market is shorting it which is me. So pound US dollar, we'll be up here somewhere. No, we're mid table, 57. So yeah, not really long, not really short at the moment. More short than long, which means I want to be more long really. And the fundamentals on it basically are pointing down, massively down. So it's a massive sell. It's the biggest sell we've got at the moment, pound US dollar, -10. So flog it. Why is intraday sentiment different on combined? Have I got that wrong? Retail is a +1. Why is my combined sentiment different on pound US? Something's gone wrong there, isn't it? I need to look at that. So we are currently 43 long. Combined sentiment in that case should be neutral. Neutral. So combined sentiment table is not updated, has it? Where are we? Sorry, bear with me 1 sec. I'm just going to quickly have a look at this. Whoops. I think this is a caching issue again, which I don't need to cache this table. So let me just quickly refresh this while we're waiting for the NASDAQ to come to life. So we are at 125 ADR on the NASDAQ. So obviously it's been selling off hard all day, along with the Dow, the DAX. So we're already massively extended on this at the moment. Don't forget we're in earnings fortnight at the minute, so we need to be a little careful with intraday movements. Retail sentiment, differential sentiment scorecard. That's for some reason uncache that and refresh. Yeah, that doesn't like being cached. Okay, that solves that problem. That should be an integer. Save. There we go. And I want to sort it by that. Sorry, just doing stuff while I'm here. There we go. That's better. Right. So pound US dollar. Yeah, there we go. That's what that should be. I won't cache that table because it don't like it. Right. Sorry, I'm back. It's doing stuff. So there's your 5-minute opening range. So looking at the NASDAQ at the open, I'll have a look at FX pairs and stuff in a minute. Obviously, yesterday, we had we've had a couple of good bull days, basically. So Friday was a nice big bull day. Monday was. Tuesday we made a new high but didn't actually make any progress. Today it's completely collapsed. So if we look at the current earnings at the minute, last night we had Microsoft. So Microsoft basically has taken a big old tumble. So basically it's down on the day. It's up overall, but not really going anywhere. So I would imagine the earnings on Microsoft came out pretty much as expected. Pre-market today, we've had AT&T, ADP, Boeing, and IBM. So the NASDAQ names basically are in there. We've also got Tesla aftermarket. So if anything's been leaked about Tesla stocks, then obviously that's going to have an impact. So we're going to see a lot more of these days where we're just going to get huge movement on the NASDAQ. So today we are obviously massively down. This is a beautiful 3-bar reversal that's gone in. Obviously we are at exhaustion. So very difficult to tell whether or not we're going to want to pull back today into these propulsion areas. It's a long way to go. So this was where we sort of opened up and Globex traded there. And then obviously we came down with the DAX this morning. So the DAX open was here, 10 o'clock. Where are we? There. So that was the DAX open. And we just collapsed along with the DAX. So potentially there is a pullback up into this area here to retest it. So we'll see what happens at the open. But we've also got this area here we broke down, but this is ADR. Look, it bounced straight off of ADR because it was exhausted and has managed to collapse through. So it's very difficult to tell where we're going to go today. I can't see us putting in much more of a down day than we are. Look, I mean, look at the size of that candle there. That's one of the biggest down days we've had. That's one of the biggest up days we've had. We've done that much already. So if you look at these moves, so from top to bottom, that one was 470 points. We've done 317. So an equidistant move on that would be bringing us all the way back down to the 2472 moving average. So, you know, there is room to go, but we're going to need to put in a 200 ADR day down here. So it's going to be quite tricky for them to actually push it down that far, but stranger things have happened. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's have a quick look at the Dow and see what the Dow's doing at the open. Again, we've got divergence across the indices this afternoon. So we've got bullish Dow, bearish Nas. We're seeing this. This is probably the 3rd or 4th day on the trot. We've seen this, isn't it? Very difficult to trade when you've got divergence across the major indices. One of these is going to be in control and is going to be right. So post CAD news, New Zealand dollar CAD long off of ADR on the higher time frame support. New Zealand dollar CAD. I mean, we need to see what happens at 3 o'clock. What will they make of it? And then obviously we need to see what happens at 4 o'clock when the press conference is out. But from an intraday perspective, both sentiment. Why can't I sort on both sentiment all of a sudden? God, I haven't set that up as a filter. Let's just look at New Zealand dollar CAD to be easier. Where are we? Okay, so it's a massive long New Zealand CAD at the moment. This is pre-fundamentals, obviously. So it's along there. It's a buy here, but mainly, look, it's a +6, but that's mainly off of sentiment. So I'd be looking for longs on New Zealand CAD, and I have been looking for longs on New Zealand CAD. You know, I started getting long there. So it all depends what happens with the fundamentals, though, doesn't it? We don't know what's going to happen. I would anticipate strength on the New Zealand dollar off of 4.5, but that can only be short-lived if they come out and say we're going to not increase rates next time, like the Australians, like they did last time. So if you look at the fundamentals for New Zealand, yeah, New Zealand dollar, they were the first country last time to actually not increase interest rates. Inflation didn't move. So this time they're going with another 0.25%. They're starting to slow down. So there is a possibility that he's going to come out and say next time we're not going to increase it, which the market might not look favorably upon. So we'll see. 15-minute opening range is about to go in the next 2 minutes. There's your high, there's your low. So we'll see if we get, I kind of favor a long on this today, but hey, the thing is collapsing out of bed, so we could have a big day down, couldn't we? So from where would you buy the pound now? So basically the pound US dollar, I would not buy it, I'm selling it. But if I had to buy it, I would buy it here, somewhere around ADR or when the RSI is extended to the downside, because that's what I do. It's all covered in the bootcamp. There's links in the description on the live room to the website. On the website, there's an education section. In the education section, there's what's called a position trading bootcamp video course, which is 5 videos, about 8 hours, 10 hours. That explains how I trade. I can't explain it in here because I've spent many hours producing 5 or 10 hours worth of videos to explain it. I can't explain it in the live room, which is why I have a website which has all of this stuff on it. But go there, watch these, would explain everything. So if we are going to go long pound US dollar today, we'll be looking for some kind of rejection in that propulsion gap because market structure at the moment is bearish. Okay, less than a minute to go. What are your thoughts on the CAD news upcoming in regards to their rate? Will it remain the same or could they surprise us? It's not going to remain the same because they forecast a 0.25% increase. So I very much doubt they'll remain the same. I don't know. I've no idea. If I knew that, I would already be in the market in the direction it's going to go, wouldn't I? So I can't answer that question. So my exposure at the moment is short on the CAD. So I'm really hoping they don't increase their interest rates. I would absolutely love them to come out at 4.25 because I would make a fortune, but I don't think it's going to happen. It would be lovely. But we'll see. So I'm US dollar CAD long and I'm CAD Swiss short. That CAD Swiss I've got in profit again. So what I'm going to do is opening ranges in. Yeah, long and short orders in, ready to go on a break. If we get one, I've not got a particularly good feeling about this one today because we've just so extended. They're either going to pull it back, I think, or we're going to chop. We've done so much today pre-market. I'm not sure they've got any legs left, but we'll see, won't we? So CAD Swiss, how long have we got? Quarter of an hour. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to trail this one by 100. So 10 pip trailer on it. I might get stopped out before the news, which is fine. If I do, I do. I'll bank that $100. What I don't want is the CAD flying and going into drawdown on a whole lot. So I'll take a little bit of profit on it on the off chance that we are going to go the right way. And if we are going to go the right way, I'm moving my TP down to ADR. And that TP I will move to 150. And the other CAD I've got on is US CAD. So I'm already up at ADR on that. That's fine. So we'll see what happens. Random. So what do you think about the pound US dollar pair? It has a buy potential, more or sell? I think I've answered that one, haven't I? In which time frame can we see rejection from the above in the pound? I don't understand your question. Sorry, random. You need to go and watch the videos on the website. You're asking nonsensical questions. In which time frame can you see rejection from above in the pound? I don't even know how to answer that question. It's just not, doesn't make sense. Clarify. So yeah, ADRs I've covered this morning, but all these ADRs are still valid potentially. So I know they're not, sorry, they've all played out. You've missed them all. So Aussie dollar CAD, reversal alert, retest, 125 ADR to 150. That's done. Straight back into propulsion. Aussie dollar Swiss, reversal alert, drop into propulsion. Aussie dollar New Zealand, it's the one that I'm in, hasn't dropped into propulsion. I hate it when my stuff doesn't work. ADR, straight down into propulsion. Euro odd, bounced off of ADR. Very, very tight reversal alert. You can hardly see it. Not pretty, this one this morning. It was a difficult one. We haven't actually got back to the propulsion gap yet on this. So there's a little bit more room on it, but that worked out nicely as well. And the pound odd, beautiful, tight reversal alert at 125 and back into propulsion gap. So a little bit more room again on this one. It's sort of, isn't it? Every single Australian dollar pair off of ADR today has gone exactly where it should have gone, apart from the one that I'm on. Typical. RSIs, the hourly RSIs are flat now. So there's nothing to look at there. Aussie dollar New Zealand on the 4 hour. ADR has just been hit on pound New Zealand. That's flying. That's a short. It's a strong short, pound New Zealand. So you might want to look for an opportunity to get in short on that at ADR. So pound US, pound New Zealand dollar, 70% are long on that. And we got cot bias short. So that might be a good one to look at. I'll have a look at that in a sec. Aussie New Zealand on the 4 hour RSI extended to the upside. So potential fade on that into the propulsion, which is why I'm shorting it as well. Euro odd is the other 4 hour extension we've got, which has already played out. Missed it this morning. That was an ADR hit as well as the RSI extension. And the pound odd, again, same thing. That was an RSI extension and an ADR extension. Both of them played out. So everything's just played out already. Pound New Zealand. So let's have a look at that and see where we could go from there. So we're putting back into this candle, which is the last up candle before this low was made. Hence, that is the support rectangle. So obviously, bear move, pull back, short. So if COT are going to be right and we're going to continue to the downside and retail sentiment is going to keep getting stopped out, we want to be getting in short on this, don't we? So there's potential here for a short entry. It's not particularly clean. It's 40 points. So it's a quarter of an ADR between where we are now and the current reversal alert. So keep an eye on that one. Sentiment on that one is obviously well on side. So there's a good short on that. I like that. My exposure is currently double short. I can't take it myself, but if you like it, take it. I'm not going to take it because I'm already exposed on it. I'm hedged on the New Zealand as well. So right, 8 minutes to the news. Let's see what the Dow's up to. So again, Dow's bullish, Nas is bearish. Who is in control today? The Dow hasn't hit ADR yet. We've still got a fair bit of distance to go down, and we haven't even taken yesterday's low yet on the Dow. So I would say there is still more downside potential. S&P has just hit ADR. But there's still quite a lot of room to the downside on these. NASDAQ, though, if we are going to have more downside, the NASDAQ's got to drop to sort of 150, 175, hasn't it? So that is less likely. Seven minutes. I will turn on Financial Juice. I won't turn it on yet, actually. So NAS is going for the lows. So intraday, obviously these are still valid. Euro Swiss, New Zealand CAD, New Zealand Swiss. All valid for longs, basically. So New Zealand dollar CAD is a very nice long down here at the moment. But as I say, we might get something fundamental change. So short on the NASDAQ. But this is where I'd like to be buying it up, New Zealand CAD. So next reversal alert on M5, which you almost got there, didn't quite. So the next reversal alert on M5, however, that's probably, if it is going to go, it's going to be on the news, isn't it? So the reversal alert is going to be like that, and you're going to get in up here. So you either need to get in now, ahead of the news, or you're going to miss the entry. Assuming, obviously, we're going bullish, which we don't know you're doing. US dollars dropping against the CAD as well. I might have to. I'm going to stop out on some of this, I think, today. If we get this bull run on the New Zealand, on the CAD, some of this is going to stop out. The EA is just going to close it out because it's going to get over an ADR away from me. It's an ADR 90. Yeah, so I'll be stopping out down there somewhere. Take them with the EA. There's the other New Zealand's. Okay, so Nasdaq's broken out of the lows. So see if we get any follow through on this. The window cleaner's turned up. My dog's going mad. Yeah. If you hear a load of banging in a minute, it's just the window cleaner with his massive stick cleaning the windows. 4 minutes to the news. Turn Financial Juice on.
A note from UBS, economist Pablo Villanueva forecasts the Canadian interest rate to remain unchanged at 4.25%.
Does he now? I would love that. That would be beautiful. That would make my day. I got a fairly tight trailer on this NASDAQ, 40-point trailer on it. The opening range is 66 points. So the trailer is within the opening range today, keeping it a bit tight because obviously
down 2%.
Because obviously we are so depressed on the NASDAQ at the minute. Sagar, do you still use Tick Strike for financial juice? Only when I'm trading futures. Tick Strike's only useful for futures, really. Okay, Dow is making a run for ADR. Just gonna watch CAD. So I'm gonna watch US dollar CAD because I've got a long on this, and we will see how we get affected here. So from a strength perspective, to do with the CAD, pound CAD is the best short. Long New Zealand CAD and US CAD are the best longs. So if you're looking for a quick scalp intraday, New Zealand dollar CAD, US dollar CAD longs, and pound CAD shorts. So see which way we go. Window cleaner is squirting my windows.
1 minute remaining.
You can use Tick Strike, I mean, for whatever you want to, but I mean, I only found it useful for futures because it's Tick Strike is obviously ladder ticks. So for trading anything 5 minute or above, Tick Strike's a lot less useful. Trading the ladder where you're trading on a tick by tick basis, then Tick Strike is very useful for that. I've just swayed away from futures a bit at the moment. We're getting a little bit of a push on US dollar CAD ahead of the news, unfortunately. I don't like it when they push ahead of the news because quite often they're enticing longs in and it's going to go the other way. Oh, hello. Off we go. Long.
Hike, 25 basis point hike, 25 basis point hike to 4.5% as expected. Bank of Canada says there is growing evidence that restrictive economic policy is slowing activity, especially household spending, and US and European economies are slowing but proving more resilient than forecast in the October MPR. Seeing some slight downside in Canadian dollar.
Just banked something. Don't know what I banked. What did I just bank there? CAD Swiss sell. Just got out of that, $239. US dollar CAD. I'm just watching my break-even line. I'm just going to close this out. If it pops back down below my break-even line, I'm just going to bank it because that leaves me one position on still.
Canada says one reason for increased participation of women in workforce could be government program to cut daycare costs. The Bank of Canada says recent rise in number of women joining Canadian workforce has helped address labour shortages. Bank of Canada reiterates that likelihood of a couple of quarters with slightly negative growth is roughly the same as that of a couple of quarters with slightly positive growth, and inflation expected to fall 3% in mid-2023 and return to the 2% target in 2024. Considerable uncertainty surrounds inflation outlook. It could take longer than expected for higher rates to weaken demand and labour costs enough to push down service price inflation. Inflation to average 6.8% in 2022, 3.6% in 2023, and 2.3% in 2024. Annualized third quarter 2022 GDP seen at 2.9%, fourth quarter 1.3%, and first quarter of 2023 0.5%. tightening of monetary policy in Canada and abroad is expected to have broader effects in 2023. Wage growth remains broad-based and appears to have plateaued in the 4% to 5% range. Risk of a wage price spiral has declined. Unless a surprisingly strong pickup in productivity growth occurs, sustained 4% to 5% wage growth is not consistent with achieving.
Okay, closing one CAD. We're just approaching ADR.
Inflation outlook are roughly
Shut up. We're just approaching ADR. So I'm just closing one US dollar CAD out at ADR. CAD Swiss, I've closed one already. Not that one, that one. Unfortunately, I got stopped out on that just before the news. Look at that spread. My God, look at that. Yeah. That is where price was when I got stopped out. That's the spread. This is broker hitting about 10-point spread on a major. Well, it's not a major, it's a minor, but still not funny. Okay, New Zealand dollar CAD. That one I've just got into with the EA. So again, that's a sentiment trade based on combined sentiment. So I had that set up ready to go on New Zealand dollar CAD. See how this has changed now, all of a sudden. What's gone on there? When was this last updated? 157. So that's not good news for the Canadian dollar. Obviously, as you can see, but everything you just said there that I was listening to, so that's global growth slow. That's fine. Turn the volume down a minute. Inflation will average 6.8, up from 6.9, 3.6. So they're forecasting inflation not to be dropping. 4 to 3% in the middle of 2023 for returning to 2%. So they're forecasting inflation to drop to 3% within 6 months. Which is a 4% drop. So they're obviously assuming that this increase, this 0.25% increase, is enough, basically, to keep on top of inflation. Market does not agree, obviously, as you can see. 3-month measures of core inflation have fallen, indicating that core inflation has peaked. I disagree. Sorry, I'm on the wrong one, aren't I? Idiot. 6.3, so that's a 3% drop. Yeah, so we've dropped by 0.5. I was looking at the New Zealand dollar. Because they've got the same rate, look. So that's dropped 5. Okay, so why is the market pumping on this? This is all positive forecast for the Canadian dollar. And yet, obviously, every CAD pair is dropping at the moment. So the market is not agreeing with what they are saying at the moment. This all looks like a false move to me. There's nothing negative coming out in this that I can see. So, I'm going to watch that New Zealand CAD. CAD Swiss, can bank that as well. What I've got left, isn't it? So that's US dollar weakness. The DAX is probably spiked, isn't it? Yeah, spiking. So I'm stopped out on one of those. Very small loss on the NASDAQ. And I've got one short still on. US dollar's dropping basically, which is pushing the NAS up. God, this is all quick today, isn't it? I'll just get ready to exit this New Zealand dollar CAD. Wow. This is the sort of reaction I would have expected if we got a 4.25, not a 4.5. And the fact that they've just said they're going to drop interest rates by 50%, drop inflation by 50% within 6 months, that is a much better outlook than all the other countries have said so far. And yet the market is completely disagreeing with what they've said. Whether they think that their inflation forecasts are high or something, I don't know. They're forecasting unemployment and the labour market growth, which means unemployment dropping. Again, all bullish, bullish, bullish. They've upped the interest rates, bullish. CAD's dropping like a rock. Go figure. Not that I care, but I don't quite understand why this move is so big. So I kind of want to get some of this off the table because I've got a feeling we are going to drop this. We've got an hour until the press conference. This whole thing could get reversed very quickly and easily during the press conference at 4 o'clock. So I don't want to push it. Do you still? Sorry, you've read that one. Cat's quiet. Everybody banking their money, or is everybody going, oh my God, I've just lost a fortune? Who's just made a load of money on the CAD? It's very mixed, CAD. This is stalling. I'm going to bank this one. I'm going to bank CAD Swiss as well. Let's have a look at CAD Swiss, actually. We're at ADR. Oh, that's so annoying that stopped me out. Look at that. That there didn't happen. That position should now be down here. That trade was what, $200? $240 that was. On a 21 pip move. Total move is now 60. That should be sitting at $700. Criminal. Had a 100-point trailer on it, a 10-point trailer on it. Never would have got stopped out. Spread. Took me out in the spread. Gotta love them, brokers. So just get ready to exit this CAD Swiss. We're at ADR. I could go flat on this as well. I'm just worried about a retracement on this, a complete retracement on this. I can get out and get flat. It is range bound. Sentiment is short. We've got no cotton side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to trail it by 10. Which one is it? That one. And I'm going to trail that by the same. Although that isn't actually 10 points in profit. So this has got to push down more for me to start trailing that. I have to get down to here somewhere. So a little stop out on that NASDAQ. In the propulsion gap, which got retested. Just took me out as well. Is it my day for stops or what? Look at that. I'm getting stopped out very unfairly today, aren't I? Trailing stops are not my friend today. Going back a bit on that one. US dollar CAD's pulled right back. Okay, it's pushing again, US dollar CAD. Is that broker hunting your stops? Yeah. This is my Forex funds. This is Traders Global. I mean, it's a 10 pip spread, look. Look at that in a minute, look. Yeah. So I had a 10 pip trailer on it, right? So we, from there, obviously we didn't. So when we got to here, I had a 10 pip trailer on here. So my trailer was there. Then we pushed down, right? This was 1 minute before the news. We pushed down to there. So my 10 pip trailer went to there. Yeah. The news here, this candle is the news candle. Never traded up there. There's the high of the wick. There's the high of the wick, right? So that was the close of the candle. We opened there. I got a 10-point trailer on. We slammed down to here. Yeah, I get stopped out. So basically, as soon as that candle opened, they spread. And I don't know what they spread by. They could have spread by 30 for all I know. I've got no idea. But I got stopped out on 10. They could have spread it to 25, 30. I have no idea what they spread it to, but they spread it wide, didn't they? They made sure they took everybody out before they moved it. Brokers. Doesn't matter who you're with. It really doesn't. They all do it. It is also to do with slippage and volatility. So, you know, it's not all brokers, but we like to blame the brokers, don't we? It's more fun. You've got to have someone to blame. Can't blame the dart balls. Anyway. Meh. So we're flagging at the moment. I'm just going to watch this one because this is the main one I've got in profit. Now what's going on with the NASDAQ? NASDAQ's back down to the lows. ECB have just said that they would not be surprised if they continue to hike interest rates after Q1. So we've got confirmation of 0.5% in February and 0.5% in March from the ECB. Mark Luff has just said continuation into Q2. So that would be April, May, more interest rate rises from the ECB. Markets are greedy. Nasdaq struggling today. It's so extended on this Nasdaq. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get any lower on this today. It's absolutely shot. Site hasn't updated yet. Still short on that, 257. So that was just updated at 3 o'clock. Let's have a look at what the combined sentiment is now. Euro, Swiss, New Zealand dollar, CAD still the top buys. The rest have dropped to ones. CAD Swiss getting scale outs on this now. This has been at 4% or so, isn't it? The CAD Swiss for ages. So you see it was up here for absolutely ages at the 97, 98%, and now it's all starting to scale out. Big change today in the Aussie dollar Swiss. Look, the last few days, Aussie dollar Swiss, the market has flipped short on the Aussie dollar Swiss since the 20th. CAD Yen ADR. So the 20th, was it the 20th? Yeah, so the 20th, they were over 75% long, and they've been scaling completely the opposite direction. So they've all been going short on the CAD Swiss since the 20th, which is here. They've all been going short. Coming down quite hard now. What do you reckon they're doing? Do you reckon they're all going long now? Starting to tick up. Aussie dollar yen and CAD yen ADRs. So a few more ADRs kicking in now on the yen pairs. Aussie dollar yen's come down. CAD yen, we've got an ADR hit. New Zealand dollar yen, not quite. Pound New Zealand, ADR 125 now. That's a really good sell, that. Too far. You need to take price action on this. The M5 reversal alert is a little bit too far away on this at the minute. If we can get a new high in here and break that high, your reversal alert is going to go on that low there. in which case you're going to get a much tighter entry on that. See. RSIs, we've now got some 1 hour RSIs to look at as well. Pound New Zealand, again, hourly extension, short opportunity. If you look at this at the minute, obviously shallow pullback, medium, deep. This propulsion gap here ties in very nicely with the 61.8 retracement, which is 150 to 175 ADR today. So we've already tested this once, confirmed there's more sellers in the market there. They're just taking out the liquidities at the moment. So that would be a good spot to come and get in short. If we get an extension up to there today, 150 ADR, stick another little alert under that area. If we can get up to there, that'd be a nice looking short. Maybe a good short from here. We're between 38 and 50 retracement, so it's a good potential short opportunity there anyway. So just a bit far away because of that strength of that push. New Zealand dollar CAD, obviously that's now extended, or was extended. So yeah, New Zealand CAD just got extended on the RSI, just 29.94. Look, obviously it popped on the news. New Zealand dollar Swiss is very nicely extended to the downside, coming down to potential support. Did I not have an alert on one of these? This looks very familiar. Was there not one of these New Zealand pairs I was looking at an entry on? Just get rid of some of these old ones. 9th of January. That's Swiss has already played. Oil, I've got the alert set. Pound New Zealand was the one I was looking at. Oh no, that's the one I just set. Oil. Oh, it was oil, wasn't it? I had an alert on this morning. Down here. Yeah, we haven't got there yet. Still bearish on the CAD. We got 35 minutes to go until the press conference. Nasdaq's just accumulating at 150 ADR. Dow accumulating. It's all shot. It's all done so much today already. Still bearish though. S&P is putting in nice market structure. That looks pretty good. Okay, so we've just put a new low of the week in on New Zealand dollar yen. That's the open. So we just put a new low of the week. So may get some limit orders triggering here at the lows. Wow. So New Zealand dollar Swiss is extended on the hourly. It's a good buy, New Zealand Swiss. Cot on side. Fundamentals are neutral on it. But you've got cot on side, retailer short. So that's a good long as well. So kind of like that one as a long as well. So this one, pound New Zealand short and New Zealand Swiss long, both getting to where we could start to look at getting into positions now for the next leg. And pound New Zealand so we need to look for some signs of strength and weakness on those two. So M5, again, reversal alert would be a good opportunity to get in. If we can make a new low here, you're going to get a much tighter reversal alert on that high. So that would be a very nice one. If we can get another little push down on that. We've just double bottomed on that, look. To the pip, literally to the pip. CAD Swiss is trying to go again. I think I'm going to close this CAD Swiss out totally. It's just so annoying that stopped me out. It's going to be a profit regardless. It's 0.5% off of the trade in total, but it's just very annoying. I got stopped out on that. I've had to take 2 partials on it, 2 drawdown controls on that. That would have, I mean, this was only $220. So that has actually cancelled out these 2 drawdown controls. So basically, at the moment, I'm literally just sitting in $90 on it now, aren't I? I'm just concerned. I'm not sure I want to be in any CAD ahead of this press conference, because this is all going the wrong way. Based on all of that stuff that we just saw on Financial Juice, everything that he just said was really fairly bullish. The market has completely gone the opposite direction. So we've got crude inventories in 1 minute. Yeah, 330 now. Crude inventories, 500,000 barrels, forecast 1.5. So it's pretty much the same as expected. So of course it'll just fly whichever direction it wants to. It doesn't care. Yeah, I'm just not sure I want to be in any. I've banked a fair bit so far today, so I don't want to push it and hold it just for this to do that, and then do that because the CAD is actually bullish, not bearish. I'd rather get out than sit in drawdown. Got US dollar CAD. Maybe I just hold that one. I've got a tiny little CAD Swiss, haven't I? Tell you what I'm going to do. So draw down on that 60. That's virtually nothing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a stop on this position. So these two are basically, both of these, they're either going to stop out there or they're going to trail 10 pips. If we get a continuation push to the downside on it, that's fine. This one I'm going to leave on because it's such a small position anyway. It's only a 0.24. So if this does pull back today, I will get another position on at some point. I've got US dollar CAD long on it, which is pretty much at break even anyway. So if, again, assuming that this undoes, and comes back to origin. We've got news coming out on the US dollar tomorrow and on Friday, which potentially could rally the US. So I'm not too bothered about keeping this on. Again, this is just one position. So it's only going to go into 1/4 to 0.5% of drawdown if it gets beyond the origin of the move anyway. So it doesn't really matter, does it? Everything else doesn't matter because it's not New Zealand CAD based. Got New Zealand. I'm getting New Zealand and CAD. I'm getting them confused constantly at the moment because they're both very, very similar fundamentally. So they're confusing me with their similar rates. And now that's gone up to 4.5. That's now the same as the US, which is going to confuse me even more. This updates every few hours, so this will update at some point today. Nasdaq's just tapped back into a propulsion gap again. Sellers have added. Definitely got the bears on side today on the indices, but we're just exhausted, aren't we? DAX is doing absolutely nothing. Look at the DAX's range. 40 points. It's like 1/4 of an ADR range. Not doing anything, is it? Dow's made new lows, so the Nasdaq should push out the lows here and make a new low. Good short right now. Pound is going up. On which point should we do a sell? Whenever you want to. I can't really answer that. You keep saying pound. You can't trade the pound. You can trade a Forex pair. You need to tell me which pair. There's lots of pound pairs. Assume you mean the pound US dollar. Getting on a reversal alert is what I would do. And that is what I do. We've all gone very quiet, haven't we? Anybody got anything else they want to discuss or any other pairs they want to look at while we're waiting for something to happen? We've got 25 minutes until the news, which I kind of want to hang around for because I want to see what he does. I don't have to be on stream for it, but, you know, might as well. It's a bit like watching paint dry, waiting for things to happen. But if anybody's got anything they want to discuss, US dollar CAD's going into profit. This is US dollar strength coming through at the moment. Stronger than the CAD as well. Pound US dollar coming down. Euro US dollar will be coming down too. I think we're probably just going to sit here now and wait for the press conference. So press conference wise, planning for the press conference. If you want to trade the press conference, this is where we tend to get the majority of the movement. So when we get an interest rate announcement, if the interest rate announcement is not different to what was forecast, obviously if it is different to what's forecast, you'll get one hell of a move and you won't be able to get on it because it'll be so fast and hard you just won't be able to touch it. But if we get an as expected as we've had today, this is the focal point for the market. So this press conference, basically, the governors will be sitting there answering questions about what forward monetary policy is. So with interest rates and inflation, what the market does is it factors in the next changes. So with the Bank of Canada, they are one of the countries that doesn't update. As you can see, they don't update every single month their interest rates. So we go June, July, we missed out August, September, October, we missed out November, December, don't know when we're having the next one. So we'll be finding out in the press conference whether we're going for a January or a February for the next one, and what their forecasts are based on what the current inflation rate and everything is doing. From what has just been said on the rate statement, which is what they read out, which is what he read out, the monetary policy report, it was all very bullish in that they're getting inflation to come down, etc., etc. So the fact that we've had a negative move possibly means that there'll be confirmation coming out of the Bank of Canada that they will be keeping their interest rates at 4.5. If that is the case, we will probably find that the move we've just had will reverse. But it depends how bullish and how bearish they are in that statement as to what will actually happen. That doesn't seem like the right reaction to me at all, which is why I'm cautiously watching all of this CAD stuff, because I'm actually expecting that and potentially that. I'm kind of expecting that before the press conference, to be honest, but it doesn't seem to be happening at the moment. So, but if you want to trade it, the way to trade it is obviously 5 minutes before the press conference comes in, have a look at where the highs and the lows are. And the likelihood is when something is mentioned in that press conference, one of those questions is answered, which gives the answer to, are we doing rates up or down or what? Then you will get that move one way or the other. So kind of a straddle trade, if you like. But obviously you saw what happened to me. Yeah, be aware that they will spread you. So they're dangerous trades, straddle trades. No new lows on the NASDAQ. So Dow made new lows, NASDAQ followed. That was the thing to be on today, not the NASDAQ. I'm on the wrong instrument today. Having one of those days today. It's good though, isn't it? I'm having one of those days. Everything's going wrong today. I've still made 1%. Bearish flag. Bearish flag on what, random? On the NASDAQ? So we're ADR now on the Dow. So we need to be a little careful with the Dow as well. Dow is very extended on today's move, especially after that last 15 minutes. It's basically come in. So Random seems to think he is a signal service. I know. It's not a very good signal service, though, is he? Because I really don't know what he's talking about. Bearish flag. Where? Where's the flag? Where's the bear flag? Quick, let me short it. I don't know where the bear flag is. It's not there. I can only assume you're talking about this, which is kind of a bear flag. It's more of an accumulation. This is a propulsion gap rejection. So this move here at the open, that was the candle there where the sellers took control of the market today by breaking out of the lows of the initial cash balance. That move down to there caught a load of buyers off guard. We flushed. They all got caught the wrong side. We push up. So the buyers try to take control back. Sellers add into their short positions to drive the market back down again. So this is the buyers trying to take control back, the sellers squashing them, dropping it. Buyers trying to take control back, sellers squashing it, dropping it. Buyers trying to take control back, sellers squashing it, adding into their positions. So everybody that's shorted here is now short multiple times. Therefore, there is just no buying pressure that's going to get through that gap, and it flushes to a new low. Then the cycle starts again. Same as the principle here. Buyers started a move to the upside. Sellers tried to take control back. Buyers added into their position. Sellers take control back. Buyers are adding into their position. So if there's enough buyers in the market today to drive the pound US dollar higher, they will keep buying in these propulsion gaps because it's in their interest for the market to go up because they're long. It's got to take a lot of sellers in the opposite direction to knock them back. Outcad Swiss, I'm going to leave that one on. I'm going to be brave. I might regret this, but I'm going to be brave. US dollar CAD's dropping as well. I think the CAD is going to pop. I really do. Oh, do I want to risk this? I don't really, do you know, I don't want to be too short on this. I want to be one short. So I'm going to take one off. Just because if I'm wrong on this, if I'm right on this, because that's what I think is going to happen. If I'm right on this, I don't want to be overexposed short and go into double drawdown on it. So I'm just going to take one off. If it goes and I'm totally, if this is just going to collapse, fine, not a problem. CAD Swiss is going to go into profit and I'm just going to bank even more over here. I'd rather have one position right on than have two positions wrong and be in double drawdown. So I'm going to take the US dollar CAD off because that's no, there's no loss. It's like nothing, is it? I just lost $30. So, yeah. So I'm just taking that off for the moment. I still like US dollar CAD long. I still think it's a good buy. But just because of the news today, that's not the reaction I was expecting off of that news. We've got a mix of sentiment. We've got COT long, retail also long, which means they should be bearish on it short term. And the fundamentals are very mixed between the two on the US dollar CAD as well. So I'm just reducing my exposure on the CAD. If this goes into a few $100s of drawdown, so be it. But I'd rather not be in $400 to $500 of drawdown. So that's the reason for just scrapping that one. New Zealand, I'm still hedged on. Aussie New Zealand's pushing again. Look. So from this CAD Swiss perspective, in the next 10 minutes or so, we could well have a fairly quick rally on it, which is fine. So obviously I've got this position on here. The market reversal alert CA is set up on CAD Swiss to short me. So if this pushes up into this area, wherever it gets up to here, as soon as the next reversal alert comes in, I'm taking another position short anyway, which will bring my average from obviously here. Let's say it pushes up to there, hits ADR to the upside, takes out the Asian highs, then we get a reversal alert. My average is going to jump up into here. So all I need is a push back down there to exit the whole lot. New Zealand yen still moving. Nasdaq stuck. On right side pick. Yeah, you're talking about this, aren't you? The Nasdaq, the flag. CAD Swiss Morningstar M15. Morningstar. You can't have a Morningstar down there. This is a spinning top. This is a spinning top, inside bar, followed by a bullish engulfing. And this is what I call a 3-bar reversal. Push down, pause, push. This is a reversal pattern. However, typically you would want the 3rd bar of a 3-bar reversal to at least engulf half of the initial move. So it's kind of a half 3-bar reversal, but it's not strong. As you would expect, it's not going to be strong after we just had a CAD news, and it's not going to be strong 10 minutes before the bloke is going to open his mouth and potentially tank the market. So you're not expecting much this time. You've got to wait 10 minutes. Nasdaq's also waiting for the Canadian press release by the looks of things. Dow's not hanging about though. We'll see. Pound US dollar's coming back down to retest the Asian highs. I'm just watching that on my other monitor. So just coming back down into this propulsion gap. So this is kind of last stand really for the buyers if they're going to add on to these positions here. Hopefully they don't, because I'm short. Okay, I'm up to 5%. So 3% away. When did I start this account? 13th of January. So what we're on 25th. It's 12 days total. So that's 8 trading days, I think. Not bad, is it? My God, people, why can't you go to the website? Someone's just asking the Telegram group, do I need to purchase the indicators to get the background indicators I've got? Right? This is the website. There's a navigation up here. He's talking about indicators. Probably there. That would be where I would click. Yeah. If I didn't use the drop-down navigation, which says exactly where you need to go. But other indicators and templates. So these are the indicators he's talking about, and these are the other indicators he's talking about. Is that not really easy to find, people? Other indicators and template. I don't know. Maybe I'm just really, really clever on the internet, but I'm sarcastic. Right. We've got 7 minutes to go. Everything seems to have gone into contraction mode, waiting for the press conference. So when the press conference is out of the way, we're clear until tomorrow afternoon for news. So it leaves the market free to run amok this afternoon and go where the hell it likes. So as soon as this press conference is over, you're probably going to find everything is going to start to move. So looking at all the other pairs, basically, apart from the Aussie dollar CAD, obviously. But we're kind of just undoing the moves on a lot of the stuff that we've had in the last hour. So everything's just kind of hovering at the moment, waiting. So we'll probably get a decent amount of movement when that CAD news hits, because obviously there'll be a lot of repositioning into the Canadian dollar or out of the Canadian dollar. And to do that, they're going to need to draw money out of other currencies. So there'll be a lot of shifting across the board, potentially. So we might see a lot of this stuff moving and, as I say, completely unwinding. So if you want to take any of these, obviously everything you can see on the screen CAD-wise, everything that is an ADR CAD-wise, it's all a potential fade, everything. So you could literally hit the short button now on everything CAD, everything XXX CAD. You can hit the short button on it, and everything CAD crossed, hit the long button. And, you know, just use risk reward. You've got a 20 to 30 pip stop on that. You've got potential 60 to 70 pip drop. Henna's, he's obviously in YouTube. Although I got shamed on YouTube, I'm very grateful for the overview. Sorry, Henna's, I'm not having a go at you. It's just, I get asked all the time, literally all the time, questions which you can answer on Google or questions you can answer on the website. And bear in mind, there's a pinned message in the Telegram group with thousands of links to the website. And every day, in every morning, there is a massive post goes into the Telegram group with all the links to the website. It's just people, I know why people do it. Like, they ask the question and it's just a very simple click to get an answer usually, but we are a lazy species, and I'm the same. But the reason I'm like I am, and it's not nasty, but the reason I'm like I am is because the mentor that actually turned my life around in trading did not even talk to me until I'd read a 3,000 post thread on a forum. And until I'd read that thread and could prove to him that I had read it and understand it by him asking me questions which were embedded in that thread, that's when he took me under his wing. And I'm kind of, I think, subconsciously replicating that. When people ask me questions that have got, that could really be found out within 5 minutes of a couple of clicks, my brain is going back to what I've had to go through to get to where I am, which is basically not being spoon-fed anything at all and being made to go and do it. He wouldn't talk to me until I'd done hundreds of hours in front of charts and posted charts to him as well. I had to post him a load of charts. You're getting off lightly, you lot. I had to put together flashcards of trades before I'd ask a question and he'd say, what do you think? Do your analysis over a 3-month period on your chart and highlight the areas that you're asking this question about. And I would do that and I'd go, oh, yeah. Hey, well, the question I asked you, here's the answer. And he'd be like, there you go. You've answered your own question. And you learn so much more by doing that. And I think that's why I'm like I am, because I've had it drummed into me for years not to actually get anything spoon fed to me. So my immediate reaction is Google it. The answer's out there. I'm not being nasty. I've been conditioned. Nasdaq's pushing back up. Again, buyers seem to have taken control back ahead of this move. So don't worry, I deserved it. I've had the breakout indicator for years and I love it. I only just discovered the website and the videos. Don't ask me how I didn't know. It's actually very easy, the answer to that question, why you didn't know, because I'm not allowed to post links to anything on MQL5 Marketplace. So I can't post links in any of the products on the marketplace to the website. They very much frown on it and they kick you off. So hence I can't tell everybody about the website that buys through the marketplace. It's people that discover the marketplace via the website that know the website exists. It's just the way MQL5 works, which is why I try to put videos on the websites. Hopefully then people will discover the website via. No, I'll leave Financial Juice on. He'll tell us what's going on. Load of RSI's just gone off.
Macklem says lower gasoline prices are welcome, but prices of essentials continue to rise too quickly, and says this is a conditional pause dependent on an economy developing broadly in line with forecasts. The Bank of Canada has raised rates rapidly. Now it's time to pause and assess whether monetary policy is sufficiently restrictive, says Macklem. It says economic growth and spending in the first half of 2022 were stronger than forecast. Our overheated economy did not cool as much as we had expected. It says we are turning the corner on inflation, but fast still a long way from our target. That says if we need to do more to get inflation to the 2% target, we will. And if upside risks materialize, we are prepared to raise rates further.
Okay, so they are open to further interest rate rises. So they haven't shut the door on the rates, which is good. So again, that's potential upside for the CAD. Ladder, you've just said you don't see the pinned message anymore. You're right. Where is the pinned message? It's gone. Let me pin it again. Notify all members. There we go. I have repinned the message. I know why that disappeared, actually. It's because I changed the groups. We split into that trade group and the non-trade group. That screwed up the pinned message system. That screwed up a lot of stuff, actually, in Telegram. That's not a good thing, that groups thing. Or no, what do they call it? Not groups. It's topics. This doesn't work very well. So the message is now pinned again, for those that missed it. Is that it? Is that it? He's obviously not saying anything interesting at all. Wow. Okay.
Die taux rapidement. Il est temps de faire une pause pour
policy decisions, governing councils. Taking constraint of EA.
It's talking about oil a lot, obviously, here, and gas, because that's one of their major exports.
In the economy. It's about simply put, supply chains, on the other hand, are resolved. CPI inflation declined to 6.3%. Other gasoline are welcome, but prices of essential. With 3-month rates below year-over-year increases, core inflation will likely start to come down in the months ahead. Still, core inflation needs to continue to decline and total CPI inflation to get back to the 2% target. Inflation surveys indicate fewer households and businesses. So looking ahead, we know it takes time for higher interest rates to work through the economy to slow demand and reduce inflation. Given the speed and magnitude of the interest rate increases over the last year, the full effect is still to come. We can also see that the interest rate increases we've undertaken to date are already working. Higher interest rates are slowing household spending, and inflation is coming down. With today's modest increase, we expect to pause rate hikes while we assess the impacts of the substantial monetary policy tightening already undertaken. To be clear, this is a conditional pause. It's conditional on economic developments evolving broadly in line with our NPR outlook.
Okay, so not really saying an awful lot that we don't know, but from what he said, basically, we're going to be looking at when this updates. This is cached at the moment. Let me just clear the cache and just see if that has updated the thing yet. No, hasn't got it yet. So basically, that's up to 4.5. Assuming that we continuously get inflation now dropping, and their target is 2%, obviously, initially, but dropping, at a decent rate. So 0.5%, as we keep going down, 0.5%, 0.5%, 0.5%. If that continues to happen, we won't get any more rate increases, is basically what he's saying. So at the moment, we're of a similar sort of stance to the New Zealand dollar, in that we will probably see a zero there next time. And what impact that has had on the New Zealand, as you can see, is inflation has not changed. So it's all driven, as I've been saying for months, by inflation at the moment, which drives interest rates, which drives currency. So at the minute, all he's saying is we are going to flatten out and see if the inflation drop that has started continues. If it doesn't, and it flattens out, we will continue to increase interest rates. So the bigger the distance between the inflation drop and the interest rate rise, the faster that tends to drop. However, that has a negative impact on economy, but it does make a currency stronger. So this is why I would expect to see the Canadian dollar be a little bit more bullish on all of this news, but it isn't. So I get the feeling what we might see is just a gradual fade on this happening ever so slowly. By the end of the day, maybe tomorrow, back up here. And then the key sort of fundamentals on this basically won't really change anything for the CAD. So overall, the CAD is fairly neutral, as is the US dollar at the moment. There's no real massive strength in it, no real massive weakness in it either, because they've got so high with inflation and interest rates. It's restrictive to put it up any further. So therefore, they can't make themselves any more attractive to the market by increasing interest rates. What that means is other countries, euro, pound, other things can make themselves more attractive. And if that is going to happen, money tends to get pulled out of those. So you tend to find them sort of go neutral to weak, which is probably what we're going to see with the Canadian dollar moving forward. So this big drop, I don't think is right. I think we're probably going to find our way back up to that. But overall, we are still bearish. So continuation, but probably not as much as that, because this is the Swiss franc interest rate change, and obviously that took the market completely by surprise. But if you look at the other Aussie, it's like the Aussie CAD. Aussie has been beating the Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar has been losing against the Swiss. Canadian dollar is losing against the yen. It's been beating the euro. However, I think probably with the euro interest rate changes happening and another 1% coming in the next 2 months, we'll see that start to get beaten down. We'll see the CAD start to get beaten down further, and an acceleration on that euro CAD. So again, Canadian dollar weak there. So I don't think really it should be dropping as fast as that has today. So the fade is on, I think. You should be able to fade anything CAD. So that US dollar CAD probably going to fade back down. We've got a big, mind you, the US dollar looks like it's strong today. We've obviously got the NASDAQ pushing. So yeah, nothing exciting there really. I've got that tiny exposure now on the CAD, which is great. I'm happy to be short CAD Swiss still. Everything else is kind of flip-flopping still. But bank to load, happy with that. So if I can bank a load again tomorrow, Friday and Monday, I would have passed. Another evaluation under the belt. If pound US dollar is coming down nicely. A lot strong US dollar. So we've got the reversal alert. So that area that I said we were going to come and test, the Asian high, is kind of where we are right now. So this is going to be a key point as to whether or not the buyers are going to actually manage to keep this move moving. Otherwise, likely to come back down today. Outro, did I upload the London stream to YouTube? Yes. Well, I didn't upload it. It's a live stream, so it's there. I don't upload it. It's just there. There you go. London, live room, 26th of January this morning. Nope, sorry, that's the 26th. That's tomorrow. 25th. There you go. It's out of sync, isn't it? Look. Why is the 25th of January down there and the 24th is up there? Doesn't make sense. That's YouTube being stupid, isn't it? That should be up here. Shouldn't it? Well, those two should be down there. Anyway, that should be up there. But it's there, look. That's this morning's live room. Oh, God. Here we go. Onyx strategy. Right. That's all I've got for you today. So nice moves on the CAD, all worked very well in our favour, or in my favour today. The ranking is probably based on the number of views. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is on lives. I don't know. Don't know how it works with the previous. Oh no, that wouldn't be the case because that's got 378 views. That's got 220. Yeah, but maybe it's partly because this 182, 173. That's only got 142. But then that would be the case because that was only released this morning. So people will obviously catch up. I don't know. It's always there though. As soon as the live stream's finished, basically, it gets rendered in standard definition straight away, and you can replay it immediately. And then it takes about 6 to 8 hours for it to render high definition. Maybe that's why you'll probably find that is only available in standard definition at the moment. Oh no, it is available in high. I don't know is the honest answer. Buyers are stepping in at resistance stroke support. We'll see if that holds. So I'll leave it there today. I'll be back tomorrow morning, same time, 7:50 stroke 8 o'clock. I'm always late on a Thursday morning. Well, I'm not always late. I'm always rushing around on a Thursday morning because I have a class. But I'll be here tomorrow morning. We'll obviously trade the DAX and have a look at what's going on with the CAD, see if how much that's faded and see what other opportunities we've got. NASDAQ hedged. So I've just gone long on the NASDAQ on the second 15-minute range. I'm starting to hate this second 15-minute range because it keeps hedging me, which isn't a problem. So that sell there will stop out here in a second. And obviously I'm going to flip long. So this is a stop and reverse. We are very, very, very extended on the NASDAQ, as you can see. So we've been down all day. So this final accumulation down here looks like buyers are stepping back in now. Obviously, the buyers have got a lot of resistance to get through to get back up high today. So I'll flip long. I will add on a break of the original 15-minute high. So the session basically will look like that. So the session candle, if you like, will start to look like that. Yeah, see if we can push back up into here. So we'll still end up, if we do get a push up into the high today on the NASDAQ, we'll still end up with a bull candle, a bear candle rather, but lower. So this is when we were talking earlier about 3-bar reversals. This is a prime example of a 3-bar reversal. Push, pause, pull. That's a reversal pattern. So this pull candle here broke that low, which is absolutely beautiful, but it doesn't have to close. It can close somewhere up there. It doesn't have to close completely bearish on all three of those, although that is a very strong reversal if it does that sort of move. There's one there. That one didn't actually work out. That one there. So there's one here. Look, pull, pause, push. That one didn't work, but typically that is a reversal pattern. So we'll see. So I'm long. Why am I still in that? I'm just not stopped out yet. This is the problem, see? Taking these two ranges often causes this hedging problem. To stop this happening, I really need to bring my stops to a negative 100 on the opening range. So I'm using 110, 110% of the opening range for a stop so that I'm outside of it. But the problem with using 110% is you can get hedged. And we know, obviously, that it double tops at opening range highs and lows, which is why we use 110%. But that can also cause a problem, can't it, if you're using 2 ranges? So not a massive problem, but not ideal, is it? So right now, I'm going to be stuck at around about $103 until one of those positions stops out, because I've got a 1.19 short and a 1.19 high long. So I'm 100% hedged. So my P&L cannot change. It's going to be 103.41 forever, unless we break out of that range that I've put myself in. Which it looks like it's trying to do very well at the moment. So hopefully we flip long. I'd rather flip long on this ad, because I think that's probably more likely, is to get a pullback into that wick there somewhere. So pushing back up to in the region of 11,772, which is the bottom of that propulsion gap. Yesterday's low, basically, which is pretty much up to ADR. So out of the short, in long, second long added. So looking for a breakout now, the upside. And hopefully that those 2 positions that way will obviously be a nice little profit if we can get there. So watch that. That's all I'm going to do on the NASDAQ. Richie Wendy Wens Floorville, that's a long name. Recently 100K as initial balance. This is a prop firm account. So it's a prop account, basically. Right, I'll call it a day there. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 7:50, and we will have a look at DAX. If you need me, I'll be in the Telegram group. I've got some DMs in there. I've got to go and answer now. Quite a few. So yeah, hopefully it's a good evening. There's no news to look at overnight, so don't need to worry about overnight news. Literally just 1:30 tomorrow afternoon is the next news. Anything you need in Telegram. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow morning, 7:50, or tomorrow afternoon at 2:20 for the New York Open. So whichever you can make. All right. Have a good one. Hopefully it's profitable, and I will see you tomorrow.